How's it going, YouTube? I'm Tyler and welcome to the Fish Moto channel. In today's video, I'm going to be working on my partner Floras 2016 Kawasaki ER6N. The job I'll be doing is replacing the clutch cable. There's the one that's currently on the bike. It's old, it's stretched out, and it's currently stiff to operate, which means after a few hours riding, your hand starts to cramp up, especially when you're going through a lot of stop-start traffic. It just becomes hard to operate. The new clutch cable I'll be replacing it with is manufactured by Venhill, and it's one of their feather-light clutch cables. This video is not sponsored by them at all whatsoever. This is paid for out of my own pocket. The only reason I'm giving them a mention is because I've used these clutch cables in all of my other bikes now for a few years, and it's genuinely a really good product, which I'm really happy with. When I find a good product, which I'm really happy with, I'll happily tell you a lot about it. The reason I use their clutch cables is they have a coating on the inside, what makes them really lightweight to operate, and you don't have to lubricate them neither. As well as that, they stand by their product and give you a year's warranty with them, unlike a lot of other manufacturers. It's a really simple and easy job to change the clutch cable on this bike. Should only take about 10 minutes. Let's get the bike in the garage and make a start. So with the bike now in the garage, the first job is to slack off both the tensioner on the very top and this one on the bottom of the clutch cable. Once you've done that, the tension should be taken out the cable and you should be able to slot it out that groove there and this groove here, allowing the cable to then come out. So now with both the tensioners fully wound in, clutch should feel really loose and have loads of play, which then means you can pull the cable that way, then out through the grooves, come all the way round and then down, and that should just fall out of the hole which sits in. Once you've done that, just leave it dangling up this end and we can now disconnect the other end. Push this end bit through, and then once again there's a little groove at the back, just about wide enough for the cable to slot through. So once you've got this out, push this forward a bit, and then a lot of time they just slide straight out. And that's the bottom end all disconnected. Overall, the cable looks like it's in good condition. I've seen a lot worse. It's not frayed or anything like that. It's just stretched and old. Before I remove the clutch cable from the bike, I'm just going to take off this bit of side trim. So before I go pulling this cable through the frame, now's a good time to make a mental note of which way it actually threads through the bike. So if I have a look, it goes through here. If I look around the back and give it a wiggle, you can see it comes down the back here, through the frame. If we go look around the other side, see it moving as I wiggle the end. So that's where it comes through the frame, runs along, down towards the bracket where it lives. It is important to make sure you run the new cable the same way the old one was, so that it don't snag or anything as you're turning the bars. I've got the old clutch cable off the bike and I've got it on the bench next to the brand new one. At a closer inspection, overall the old one wasn't in too bad condition, wasn't frayed at either end, but it was definitely stretching, and as you can see it's got a couple of bends in it, which would have added to the problem as to why it felt so stiff to operate. When moving it on the bench, as you can see, it does move freely, but you can feel a bit of resistance. Unlike if I do that with the new one, that is just really smooth and effortless. We're now going to put the new one on the bike in a reverse order of how we took the old one off. I always start at the top and work my way down. I thread the clutch cable through the handlebars, round the fork leg and back into the frame. As I'm doing this, I check that I've not pinched the cable by making sure the inner cable operates smoothly and freely. With the clutch cable now all the way through the frame, I can get on and connect the inner clutch cable at the bottom end first. Once I've done that, I can pull the outer sleeve out and sit it into its groove so that it's all sitting flush and in line. With that done, I can now turn my attention to the top end of the cable, where I first of all slot it into the clutch lever, line it up with the groove, and if it's a bit tight, hold the tension on it with your hand, pull the clutch lever in, and as you release the clutch lever, pull off that slack and it should slot in. And that's the new clutch cable on the bike. The only thing left to do now is adjust it. Start off by adjusting the bottom adjuster, taking out most of the slack. Once the top screws at that point, lock it into place with the locking nut, then we can move to the top adjuster. To take out the last of the slack, unwind the top adjuster, and then when you're happy with where it is, wind back the locking nut. Most manufacturers recommend a couple of millimeters of clutch play. They don't recommend you have your clutch tight like a bowstring, as this can cause excessive clutch wear or slip. And the final piece to go back on the bike is the little bit of side trim we took off earlier. Once that's done, we can then set the clutch biting point and make sure we're happy with it. Little tip, if you want the biting point further away from the handlebar, tighten up the adjuster. If you want your biting point, i.e. the lever closer to the handlebar, slacken off the adjuster. And that's it, job done YouTube. Like I said, it's a really simple and easy job which anyone can do themselves at home with a few basic tools. Overall, the only tools I needed was a 10mm and an 8mm spanner to undo the original cable, and a 10mm and a 12mm spanner to do up the new cable, as they did have slightly different sizes. As well as that, I needed a 4mm Allen key to take off that side panel, just to give me better access. But you don't actually have to take off that side panel, it can be done, it's just a bit more tricky. The cable itself now feels really smooth to operate, and it feels nice and light as well. I can even operate it with just one finger with ease, which now means hopefully my partner Flora should find it a lot better as well. The cable itself from Venhill cost £32, which isn't too bad at all, and fitting it myself cost me nothing. If you take your bike to a garage to have them do this job, they're going to charge you at least an hour's labour plus the part. Most garages will charge you at least £70 an hour labour, so you're looking at best part of £100 to have them do this for you. So it's definitely worth having a go yourself. Hopefully you found this video useful and enjoyed it. If so, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and share the video, because it all helps the channel grow. For now, that's going to be it for today's video. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one.